Hari Om. We shall chant from verse number 21. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam Kshine punnye martyalokam vishanti Evam trayi dharmam anuprapannaha Gata-gatam kama-kama labhante Ananyas-chintayanto mam Ye jana paryupasate Tesham nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam vahamyaham. So Bhagavan told Arjuna that he pervades the entire world and everything exists in him. His existence doesn't depend on the world. And in his supreme nature, the world also doesn't exist. Bhagavan is the very support of this world, protector of everyone, nourisher of all beings. He is the father, the mother, the grandfather of all of this world. He is the friend of all. So in various ways, Bhagavan indicated his nature. He is the ultimate goal and destination of all beings. But not knowing his supreme nature, those who just involve themselves in various types of karma, actions, and various types of rituals, they get the limited result. See, there are laukik, worldly actions which give rise to the result which we can see, worldly result. But there are certain actions mentioned in our scriptures, the rituals, which give rise to some otherworldly results. And otherworldly means one may attain the world of Swarga. But even after attaining this Swarga and remaining there for a long time, enjoying the divine pleasures of Swarga, Kshine Punya Martyalokam Vishanti. Once the Punya get exhausted, again they have to come back into this world of mortals. So there, all these are temporary results of action. But Bhagavan says, one who gains my knowledge, recognizes me, constantly think about me, ananyas chintayanto mam, constantly they contemplate and think about me and worship me in all ways and always tune to me and having all their mind, intellect and body in proper control and constantly they are tuned to me, Bhagavan says, I take care of them. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I take care of them because they are following my path and ultimately they will attain me. So I take care of them on this journey. Bhagavan is also indicated in elsewhere as Marga Bandhu. He is a companion on this path. So those who follow this path of spirituality, Bhagavan is there all the time as companion, helping us, guiding us, protecting us at all steps, at all levels. So therefore, one should strive to gain this knowledge, and through this knowledge itself one has to worship God. Worship of God is through more and more proper understanding. So the more we have the wisdom about God, the more our worship becomes more fulfilling and proper. So what about those who don't have this knowledge and they worship? What happens to them? Is their worship not proper? What happens to them? Bhagavan talks about them in the next verse. He says, verse number 23, Yepyanya devata bhaktaha yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhipurvakam yepyanya devata bhaktaha yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhipurvakam. Those who worship other devatas, the other various expressions of the Supreme Paramatma, various expressions of Ishvara. There are many, many devatas mentioned in our scriptures. And each devata have their specific powers and specific range. So there are devatas only given the power of creation, sustenance, or dissolution. Or there are devatas who take care of the wind, the air, the space, the water. There are those devatas who take care of the rains. There are devatas who are in charge of life and death. Yamaraj is famous devata is. So like that, there are many, many devatas are there, and one may worship those devatas. But through those devatas, one is worshipping that Paramatma only. Because these devatas are expressions of that same Lord. Just like in our body, we have these various sense organs. So if I want to see something, I use my eyes. If I want to hear something, I use my ears. But whether I use my eyes or ears, ultimately the message goes to me. Though it passes through the eyes, it passes through the ears. But the ultimate devata is I myself. I am functioning through all my sense organs. But suppose somebody knows me only as eyes, will worship me only as eyes, will feel that, oh, I am the only one who sees, I am not the one who hears, or the one who hears is different, one who sees is different. So they are also worshipping me or interacting with me, but without proper understanding. Similarly, if one worships any devata, because all devatas are expression of that one supreme reality only. But if we have a concept that this particular devata will be able to fulfill my this desire, this devata has got this nature, he is responsible for this particular field, then I get the response or get the result also according to my understanding. So, api anya devata bhaktaha yajante shraddhayanvita. Those who worship other devatas also with great faith, with great understanding. See, there are so many devatas not only mentioned in our scriptures, but also every place you go, there are so many devatas. Sthana Devta, Grama Devta, and Devta on the mountain, Devta in the river, Devta underground. So many Devtas are there. And people with all faith, they look at that particular spot, place, or maybe that murti, or a natural structure, a mountain or a river, and they worship with great faith and great devotion. So when they worship these devatas, whom are they worshipping? Bhagavan says, Mam eva. They are worshipping me only. Because other than me, nobody is there. But, hey Kaunteya, their worship is yajanti avidhi purvakam. It is avidhi purvakam, without proper procedure. But without proper procedure means without proper understanding, with ignorance, not knowing they worship. They do not have the understanding of that Paramatma, Ishvara, who is present in all the devatas, who blesses everything and everyone. Without having the comprehension and understanding of Paramatma, they worship these little devatas. They are worshipping me only, Bhagavan says. They are not worshipping anyone else. But avidhi purvakam, without understanding, without knowledge. So their worship also becomes limited, becomes finite. The results also which comes from this worship is also limited. So our understanding plays a very important role. As we had seen before also, ki jnana yajnena yajantaha mam upasate, that the devotees worship me through jnana yajna, through knowledge. So as our knowledge increases, as our knowledge becomes more and more pervasive, more and more holistic, our worship becomes more and more complete. As I had mentioned that day also, there is famous shlokas are there which says, Shivo bhutva shivam yajet. If you want to worship Shiva, you yourself should become Shiva. Means you should have complete understanding of Shiva. The more I become Shiva, the more is my worship. To become completely, to understand that I am Shiva, is complete worship of Shiva. To become one with our altar of worship is to worship it completely. Just as in the world also, if we appreciate some person, if we love some person, what do? We imitate that person. Imitation is one of the expression of our love, our respect. We start imitating that person. If we love if we have respect and love for a particular Mahatma also, the devotees also slowly start looking like that person. It is natural. They start behaving like that, their master, they start looking like that master. Unconsciously, unknowingly, they start behaving like their master. It is natural. It is so natural that sometimes, even like those who have great fascination for some film star and all, they start behaving and looking like them only. But a very strange phenomena that sometimes even our pets, dogs and cats start looking like their master. Some, not always, but sometimes it happens. अरे ये शर्मा जी का है क्या ये कुत्ता? आपको कैसे पता है? हाँ, नहीं वैसे थोड़ा सा. तो sometimes it happens. Even husband and wife, after some many years of happy marriage, they start looking like brothers and sisters. It is natural and it is good because it shows our love, because our mind, our body is just expression of our mind. So if two persons' mind has become similar, the bodies will also become similar. Our eyes, our nose, our features, our expressions will become similar. So when I say I love God, it is like I identify with God. I start behaving like God. I start imitating His nature. When I say I love Ram, Sri Ram, then I also behave in a dharmic way. I try to make my life more disciplined. Then only I can say that I love Ram, Sri Ram. One who says I love Bhagwan as Krishna, so there also they try to imitate, try to follow the teaching of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, try to understand him deeply and identify with Bhagwan Krishna. Those Shiva Bhaktas, they also start looking like Lord Shiva only. They will have jatas and they will apply vibhuti all over their body. But they are afraid to keep snakes and all. But otherwise they will apply vibhuti and Rudraksha mala and look like Lord Shiva only. Very beautiful, wonderful. So our worship is our identification. The more we love, the more identification. Complete love, complete identification. But those who have a limited understanding of Paramatma, of Ishvara, they also worship, but their identification will be limited. Their understanding of God will be limited. Sometimes we feel God exists only in one particular place, so we have limited God in that place. Sometimes we feel God expresses only through one particular form, so we limit God in that form. Or we might have understanding of God as, oh, He is very strict, you know. If I commit any mistake, He will immediately punish me. So He is very strict, like a judge He is. So I am limiting God in that with that nature, and I get the response also in that way. But one who consider God as their friend, they get the response also in that way. One who consider God as their master, as their protector, as their guru, they find that the response from God also happens to be like that. If we have the understanding that, oh, if I do this particular ritual or this way I will worship, I will get the result. If I don't do this, then I will not get the result. Then accordingly I get the result. So our worship depends on our understanding. The more our understanding becomes holistic, the more better our worship. But whatever be whoever worships any devta in this world, in this world, anyone worshipping any devta, Bhagavan says they are worshipping me only. And there is a very famous shloka, कि आकाशात पतितं तोयम यथा गच्छति सागरम सर्वदेव नमस्कारम केशवम प्रति गच्छति. Just as when it rains, when the water comes down on the ground, ultimately it reaches the ocean. Similarly, that verse says that whoever you do namaskar, ultimately it reaches to Bhagwan only. Therefore, even to birds, animal, plants, or human beings we do namaskar, it reaches God only. But if we do namaskar with the attitude that I am doing namaskar to God, then it reaches directly. Otherwise, it goes round and round. It goes indirectly. So, Bhagavan says, even other worshippers, they are worshipping me only. How come they are worshipping you only? What is the logic? Bhagavan says in the next verse, Aham hi sarvayajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha nato mam abhijananti tatvena tascha vantite aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena tascha te. Bhagavan says, this is because I am in all yajnas. Aham hi sarva yajnanam, in all yajnas, means in all pujas, in all worships. I am the one who is the ultimate bhokta, a receiver of all the worship. I exist in all worships as the receiver of the worship, as enjoyer of whatever you offer. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta. All these are different outer forms, but ultimately it reaches me only. So aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta. Ultimately it comes to me. So I am doing namaskar to God as Krishna, it reaches Paramatma. I worship Bhagwan Ramchandraji, it reaches Paramatma only. I do namaskar to so many other gods of the world, it reaches him. I do namaskar to my parents, it reaches Paramatma. I do namaskar to my teacher, it reaches Paramatma. I do namaskar to the book, to the ground, to the birds, animals, to the mountain, to the rivers, it reaches the same Paramatma. If I have the attitude, if I have the understanding that this reaches Paramatma, then whatever I do, it becomes my greatest puja. If this understanding is not there, then my puja becomes limited. Avidhi purvakam it becomes. So aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta. I am the enjoyer of all yajnas, all pujas. And prabhurevacha, I am also the master of all these yajnas. Means without my grace and without my blessing, nothing happens. I am the master of all the pujas and all the yajnas and all the worship happening anywhere in this whole cosmos, and I am the ultimate receiver of all the offerings. I receive everything. But, see, but is there here. Bhagavan also uses that word but. Tu means but. But one who doesn't know this, mam, na tu mam abhijananti, one who doesn't recognize me, one who doesn't have this understanding of what? Of my real nature, that I am the bhokta in all the worship, I am that Supreme Lord, I exist in all beings, I am the support of this world, I am the father and the mother of this entire world, I am the friend of all beings, all whatever Bhagwan has indicated here as his nature. One who doesn't have this comprehension, tatvena tas chavantite, one who doesn't understand Bhagwan in his tattva, in his essence, what happens to them? Chavanti, they fall down, means they get lesser result. And sometimes they go down the ladder of this spiritual growth. They fall down because of their finite. Devotees of the Lord, but also a lot of fight and all sorts of klesha happens because of this misunderstanding of the worshippers. Many wars, many negative activities in the world, they are also performed by so-called devotees only. So-called devotees only, they keep fighting. intense jealousy, intense hatred. Two devotees, sometimes they feel that my God is different, your God is different. So they will fight like anything. So this is a fall only. Because the intensity which gives rise to our love, same intensity gives rise to hatred also. It gets converted into hatred. The deeper our attachment, the deeper can be our dislike. If my attachment to a particular concept of God is very deep, then anything against it, I will have great hatred and dislike. But if my concept of God is holistic, then there is nobody opposed to God. When I have a comprehensive and holistic understanding of God, then that God doesn't have any opposite. Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. There is nobody other than me, different from me. I alone am. If our God has got opposite, then our concept of God is limited. If there is some devil against our God, if there is some other gods who are competing with our God, our idea of God, if my God is different and your God is different, then my God also become limited and yours also become limited. My understanding of God is not limited. My understanding becomes limited. And this limited understanding gives rise to limited result, and sometimes it causes fall also. So, tattve natas chavantite natu maam abhijanati. Therefore, we should try to understand God abhitaha from all sides in his holistic way. Like the child understands the mother. The mother is not just one particular expression. Sometimes he is happy, sometimes he is loving, sometimes he is angry. The mothers get angry also. But the child knows that one who is angry and one who loves me, they are same. The same mother who gave me some nice thing to eat, and the same mother is beating me, is the same mother. Then my understanding of my mother will be complete. Similarly, when I have the understanding of God, the one who gives me good result means what I like, and the one who gives me bad result is same God. One who gives me sorrow, pain, trouble is also the source is same. So when I have a holistic, complete understanding of God, and whatever I do becomes Bhagwan's puja, then I don't have to do anything special. I don't have to go to a particular temple. I don't have to do a particular type of ritual. I don't have to do a particular namaskar to particular form of God. Whatever that person does is Bhagwan's puja. He lies down just lazy, that is Bhagwan's puja. He walks, it is Bhagwan's puja. He talks, that is Bhagwan's puja. Because his understanding is firmly there in his heart. Yad yat karma karomi tattadakhilam shambho tavaradhanam. Ki he Shambho, he Shiva, whatever karma I do is your aradhana. So that is the most important point. So, natu maam abhijanati jananti tattve natas chavantite. Those who don't know me completely, properly, they fall down they don't get the highest result, they get limited result, and sometimes they fall down to a lower level also. How come? What result do they get? Bhagwan explains this very beautifully in the next verse. Yanti devavrata devan Pitrun yanti pitruvrataah. Bhutani yanti bhutejyaha. Yanti madhyajinopi mam. Yanti devavrata devan. Pitrin yanti piturvrataah. Bhutani yanti bhutejyaha. Yanti madhyajinopi mam. Bhagavan says that those who worship the little devatas, the various expressions, the various other beings who are also very powerful in their own way, but they are just a little form, and the power which is there in them also belongs to that Supreme Paramatma only. So those who worship this devata with a limited understanding in their mind, yanti devavrata devan. Those who do the devatas worship and they follow certain strong, strict vratas and all, such devotees, they attain those devatas. They attain those devatas means suppose somebody is worshipping Lord Indra with the understanding that he is Indra, he is the king of all the devatas, he is the ruler of Swargalok. With this understanding, one who worship Lord Indra, then maximum he gets the chance to go to Swarga. He gets a chance to rise up in the ladder of, in Swargalok. Swargalok also different categories are there. Some slum areas are also there in Swargalok. And good high class places are there. So they get to gain all the results which that particular devata, which they have the concept in their head, can give. They cannot get moksha. They cannot get the result which that devata is not capable of giving. Indra Bhagwan cannot give them Brahmalok. For Brahmalok, they have to worship Brahmaji. Indra Bhagwan has got his own limitation. Indra Bhagwan cannot even give his own post like. Very rarely he might give, okay, you become Indra and I will just become another devata. So, yanti devavrata devan. So, one who worships these devatas with great sincerity, following various types of vrata, in which one has to observe certain type of fasting, then chanting certain type of mantras, then performing different types of rituals and special yajna and pujas and all. Such and lead a particular type of life. Such people, after a long time, after their death, they reach these devatas whom they have worshipped, or they get the result which these devatas have the power to give. Yanti deva vrata devan. Then there are those who worship the ancestors, Pitrugana. Pitrun yanti pitruvrataha. Those who worship their forefathers, their ancestors. Or there are special worship of these Pitrus, these Pitars, these ancestors who have dead and gone. Those who worship them, they reach the loka of these ancestors. Pitrun yanti pitruvrataha. Then there are others who worship the bhutas. Bhutani yanti bhuteja. Bhut, one meaning of bhut is real bhutaganas, all the bhut, pret, pishacha and all. Those who worship them, they also get a chance to become one of the bhut. Bhut also means matter. Bhut also means the Pancha Mahabhut, Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. So bhuta worshippers are those people who are materialistic, who worship matter, who don't believe in some God or don't believe in the presence of the divinity and all, but they are very much fond of this matter only. So Bhagavan says if you worship these bhutas, you will also become matter. You will also become more and more tuned to this matter alone. Bhutani yanti bhutejyaha. What does it mean? That as you worship, so you become. As your understanding behind your worship, so you get the result. It is not exactly that you have done this and you will get that. What's your attitude and what's your understanding? Based on that, we get the result. And further, Bhagavan adds that yanti madhyajinopimam. But those who worship me, they attain me. They attain the supreme state of enlightenment. Only this Paramatma, only Ishvara has got this power to give us liberation. No other gods. In fact, there are stories in the Puranas and all where it says that all other gods are also bound. They are also under the sway of Maya. They are great in their own way, but they have also their own problems. Like we have in our society different strata of people and all. So those who are at a economically lower strata, sometimes they feel, baki wo jo rich people and these people, they are so nice, they have all good things in their life. We have all sorrows in our life. But if they go there, they will find that they are sitting in their nice, warm room and unhappy. Comfortably unhappy. And poor people are uncomfortably unhappy, or sometimes uncomfortably happy. Outer material prosperity gives us comfort, but happiness depends on the state of our mind. One's state of mind may remain same, but materially may prosper. Suddenly you might become very rich and prosperous, but the state of mind is very poor. So with all the available facilities, will be so miserable, full of fear, full of jealousy, full of pain, full of sorrow, guilt. All this sadness, all these possibilities are there. So our tranquility of our mind, purity of our mind is directly responsible for the happiness which we experience. The more our mind becomes tranquil, the more pure, the more we feel happy, whatever be the outer condition. Of course, if the outer condition is not proper, we might be uncomfortable, but still happy, still peaceful. And really speaking, peace and happiness is something much deeper, something more valuable than even comforts. But if we have comfort also, and peace and happiness, then अच्छा है, सोने में सुहागा, दोनों हाथ में लड्डू. So outer prosperity we gain through Karma Yoga, and Karma Yoga also help us to gain inner quietude, inner purity. So we pass through Karma Yoga, we go on the stage of bhakti, then through knowledge we again purify our mind further and gain that supreme state of peace and happiness. So Bhagavan says, those who worship me, they attain me. And those who worship these little devatas, they attain the devatas. Those who worship the ancestors, ancestor worship is also those who worship the past. There are people who like history, they want to go into the past. So they go more and more into the past only. One lady was very happy. She said, I have married one archaeologist. She says, why you are so happy? She says, the older I become, the more he loves me. They go into the past. And they have got great fascination for the past, for that which is ancient, that which is this. People do so much of research in that. And details like they will go, they will dig the earth, they will find little utensils, then they will contemplate, then they will say, oh, they used to live in this way, they used to eat this type of food, and they will this way. उसी में चले जाते हैं. So Bhagavan says those who worship the ancestors, they go into that ancient world. Those who worship the little devatas, they reach the devatas world. Those who worship the bhutas, ghost, they become ghost. Or those who worship matter, they become more and more materialistic. And that is what is happening in modern times. People are more tuned to matter. And with our computers and all, we are more and more tuned to it. So much so that we also start thinking and behaving like computers. The software engineers, this, that, and all this stuff. Everything is very systematic. You have programming, you have everything. So the whole life becomes like that only, more mechanical like. If suppose anything happen in the house also, if they decide something, they have a plan like master flow chart and all. Planning their vacation. First we will go there, and then from 8 we will go to B. This is the arrow. Then from here we will go there. Then we will have this, that. And if something goes wrong, they get all nervous and get all agitated. We use a lot of our things, like we use our pen, we use mobile, we use so many things. And the attitude with which we use this, we have the feeling that if they are working, we will keep, otherwise we'll throw them away. Or if they are in the, in fashion, we will use it. If they go little out of fashion, we throw it and get another one. Same type of attitude then we develop towards people. We get immediately impatient with people. Immediately we feel this person seems to be a little outdated. So we want to change them. We want to throw them out. We want to just neglect and all. So we just like we treat matter without any compassion in our heart, because we know we feel that it doesn't have a life, so we ill-treat it. If the phone doesn't work, we will bang it with this. If the thing doesn't, we will push it. In the good old days also, we used to have those radios, with valves and all. And really, actually, I have also experienced, I should not do it, but what to do. That if it doesn't work, you just beat it and chalne lagta hai. I remember we had one radio, बीच में बंद हो जाता था. And it used to be there up somewhere. Even our elders used to say, उसको थोड़ा सा ऐसा मार के आ जाओ. So as little children, we used to just push it, and then again it will start singing. So similarly, we treat human beings also. थोड़ा function नहीं करते तो थोड़े चपट लगाओ, थोड़ा मारो, थोड़ा ये करो. So they are the worshippers of matter. So those who worship matter, they start becoming like matter. Those who worship these little devatas, they also start becoming like these little devatas. Those who worship ancestors, they go into the past and become like ancestors. Sometimes, how do you know that you are becoming old? When we start talking about our childhood and all, our past.